Oh, we not men. We are DEVO. Oh, we not men.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mark Mothersbaugh. You may know him from the band DEVO, and even probably more than that, you've heard his music on countless films. And I've had the good fortune to work with Mark in a few capacities, making music videos and creating posters. Hello, Mark, and welcome to Life of Kii.
Wonderful to be here. It's a beautiful day today.
It is a beautiful day outside.
Yeah, I got a feeling that all the animals are probably hoping that coronavirus stays around a long time, because it's so beautiful out right now. The air is so clean.
You like my backdrop?
I feel like I've been there before.
I mean, it sounds like outside of making music, you're just generally obsessed with sound.
Oh, yeah. DEVO, I don't even think we really were intended to be a band at first. We started off much more open-ended. We were thinking of ourselves more like as an art movement, trying to re-energize all those intellectual forces that were creatively going on in Europe between World War I and World War II, with futurists and Dadaists and Bauhaus. And I think that's what our original goal was, And
when I first met you, I had heard a story. I mean, you guys basically formed in 1973 in Kent State in Akron, Ohio. Is that correct?
That's basically correct. In a perfect world, I'd go back to 1973 or 74 and do what we were doing then, which was a lot less pop sounding, and the influences in it. I was using more purposely using Godzilla sound effects for my synth sounds. I was looking for Chaco lava bubbling explosions and ray gun blasts. I thought of us as kind of like a sci-fi Captain Beefheart in a way. And Jerry and I were both writing lyrics that were kind of like beatnik, acid beatnik lyrics. Some of my favorite ones, and they weren't necessarily the songs that became the biggest hits, but it was like stuff like Subhuman Woman and things that were not pop at all,
Wow, and you guys were kind of in the midst of the whole protest movement going on against the war in Vietnam. When the shots rang out at Kent State, your dreams and visions completely changed, and you cut all your hair off and started wearing suits and decided that you wanted to de-evolutionize the world. Is that the origin of DEVO?
I wouldn't say we wanted to de-evolutionize the world. I think we were more thinking of ourselves as reporters that were concerned citizens that were reporting on the de-evolution of the world. And we thought of ourselves more as, giving people something to think about other than that man is the center of the universe and the humans are the greatest things that ever happened, and that maybe there was a possibility that we could be the insane species that was out of touch with nature.
Well, we are definitely proving that right now, aren't we?
Yeah, I remember reading a book called The Population Bomb, and it basically just used math and looked at history and said that the planet won't be able to sustain humans reproducing at the rate that we're going now, and that by the early 2000s somewhere we'll reach critical mass, and it'll be a collapse of our species.
So this record right here, tell me a little bit of backstory on this album cover.
During the same time that we were starting DEVO, and I think it was in its primordial phase. We tried out different things like the De-Evolutionary Army and Sextet DEVO, and performed under both of those names before we ever finally chopped off the end letters and came up with DEVO. But
What started first, music or art for you?
for me, art. I was legally blind and didn't know it until my second grade teachers recommended that I get my eyes checked. And so I did. And they said, well, he can't see further than 6 inches. And it was true. Everything was a fog. But so I got a pair of glasses. And I remember coming out of the optometrist, I saw, the first time in my life, I saw the top of a house, a roof. I never saw a roof before. I never saw smoke coming out of a chimney. I never saw a cloud. I never saw the sun. I never saw birds flying. I never saw a tree other than the part I would run into. It was an amazing thing. So I started drawing trees. And I remember in the next day or two, my teacher, who had been spanking me because I was popular, she was standing behind me. And she said, "Mark, you draw trees better than me." And I went home and dreamt I was going to be an artist. And music just happened later. I was 12 when I realized music was going to be part of my life.
Well, I think that all of these things that were going on in your life were probably some of the imprinting that made you be the rare bird that you are. Your relationship with Wes Anderson's gone on, and that guy is the absolute cream of the crop in making films, choosing you for some of the soundtracks. How many movies have you done with Wes?
I did his first 5 movies. I think the golden age of filmmaking is long gone. And most of the truly amazing masterpieces were all black and white. But the one thing that's great about music is it's so abstract. It's so abstract. You can just like ignore all the advice you get from directors and producers, write what you want to write. And then your job is to convince them that that's what they said they wanted.
I just dug this up. This was the very first day that I met you.
We got in a fight that day. I remember. Yeah,
it was rough. It was a rough beginning. And you said to me when I met you, you said, "Oh, you're Kii Arens. I've been wondering what you look like because I had created this for one of your shows."
Yeah, this is the life of Kii we're in right now. So, and I got to say, Jerry and I designed the majority of DEVO artwork and posters. I got to say, yours are my favorite. I love there's 2 or 3 of them that just drive me crazy. And yeah, I love the Jello one, but the one that and that's a good one too. The DEVO synth. It's like, you could make that synth. That's so cool looking. The first one you showed with the like Tylenol or whatever, the Sudafed.
Sipacol.
Yeah, we loved that so much. We couldn't believe it when we saw that. We thought that was so great.
Thanks, man. I'm feeling it.
Well, you're enthusiastic about everything. That's one of the things I have to tell you that I'm attracted to people. My father was like the glass is half full. Timothy Leary, when I came out here, he was like the most positive guy I knew. And you're kind of like filling his place for me now because you've got that same kind of positive energy all the time. And no matter what you're talking about, you're thinking about, hey, how can we turn that into something great? And so I like that about you. I like the kind of artist you are. I think you're a good influence on the world. And I hope this show becomes mandatory viewing for all children from 6 to 36.
I'm blushing over here, but thank you for the kind words, and right back at you. I remember the very first time I met with you to pitch the idea to do this 360 video, and it was you and Jerry in one room. And every time Jerry would go to speak, without Jerry being able to see it, you held up this book that talked about some of the health benefits to drinking your own urine. Do you remember that?
I remember the book.
It was actually quite a pleasure to spend time in your amazing Mutado building. If anybody in Los Angeles has driven down Sunset Boulevard and sees a lime green replication of the Forum, there Mark's awesome recording studio is there. I think this is a good segue now that we're talking about a building. The music video that Jason and I directed with you guys down in the basement there. And what you're about to watch is an editless single take music video that almost broke the internet when we first released it.
Yeah, being a pioneer has its downsides.
Mark Mothersbaugh, DEVO, I love you like a brother, and thank you for the glasses, by the way, and thank you for your time, and thank you for coming on Life of Kii.